This is your conscience speaking. Review Marvel and DC movies.
Shut up! Shut up!
Don't tell me to shut up, you balding little bastard. I'm your conscience.
You can escape it, you know.
You know, I really should start locking my door.
Face your destiny.
Okay, and what exactly is that?
Reviewing all of the MCU movies.
Why? Their fans are crazy!
Don't listen to him, Rob! You should review the DCEU movies! Oh god, don't do that! You're gonna die!
Guys, enough! Look! Alright, you both have so many movies, and a lot of people like them, but they're just not for me. I think a lot of them are pretty much the same. I feel like if you miss one, you're completely lost. And there's one rule for Marvel and another for DC. Me reviewing them, it's just lose-lose.
Have you even seen them all?
No.
Have you seen most of them at least?
No.
So just give them a chance!
No!
You'll get a lot of views.
This is the MCU.
Hey!
Shut up, you'll get your turn.
Marvel's been an iconic part of cinematic blockbusters for well over a decade now, and it's easily the most successful franchise in history. And we're finally gonna give in and review every single installment in the MCU, and it all started in 2008 with Iron Man. Believe it or not, production for this motion picture actually began all the way back in 1990 when I was still making my way through my dad's balls inside my mum's uterus. Universal Studios purchased the rights and Stuart Gordon was lined up to direct its first ever motion picture of the character. However, it wasn't until 1996, 6 years later, when 20th Century Fox bought the rights, and the following year, Nicolas Cage showed interest in playing the role. I guess after being booted off of DC's project, he thought, yeah, I might as well give it a go. And then he'd end up settling for something a lot worse.
I respectfully disagree.
A year passed before Tom Cruise offered to produce the film as well as starring in the lead. Jeff Vintar and legendary Iron Man co-creator Stan Lee wrote a story which Vintar adapted into the script, and it was a brand new science fiction origin for the character of Tony Stark, with MODOK as the villain. The president of Fox at the time admitted that this script was the definitive moment of him truly understanding the character.
That's right.
However, by May of 1999, the script was rewritten again, and in October, Quentin Tarantino was asked to write and direct. However, the studio then sold the rights to New Line in December. They admitted that the script was strong, but they had too many Marvel films in the works at once, and they couldn't possibly make them all at the same time. Yeah, skip to recent times, and now they make about 154 each year.
I think it's a fair example.
In July of 2000, the film was rewritten once again with a cameo from Nick Fury, setting him up for his own solo movie. And by June the following year, Buffy the Vampire Slayer creator Joss Whedon, who was a huge Iron Man fan and would later direct the Avengers, was asked to direct this, with a script being completed by December that year. However, 2 years passed before Nick Cassavetes was hired as the director, aiming for the film to be released in 2006. In this new script, Iron Man would go head to head with his own father, who would become a war machine. But 2 years went by and nothing materialised. So Cassavetes left the project, and New Line finally gave the rights to the film back to Marvel.
Relax.
In November 2005, Marvel decided to start from scratch, and they set out to make Iron Man an independent film, as it was the only major character who had yet to be developed into live action. They allegedly went through around 30 different writers who all passed on the project out of lack of interest. They just weren't a fan of the character, and they believed it should be handled solely by Marvel themselves. Even when they finally had a screenplay, many requests for rewrites were turned down, and many fans were ignorant to the character, believing that Iron Man was actually a robot.
Because the robot's what makes Tony Stark. I mean, obviously Tony Stark's a genius, he made it.
Marvel had to literally conduct focus groups to clear this misconception up and to build hype for the movie. They even released 3 animated short films before the movie came out, just to ensure that people were aware of Iron Man's character.
I know. We're working on it.
Jon Favreau was hired to direct in April 2006, and he was so excited he celebrated by going on a diet and losing 70 pounds. Odd way to celebrate getting a job, but okay.
I don't know what he's up to.
Favreau wanted to make the ultimate spy movie, using inspiration from the likes of Tom Clancy, James Bond, and even RoboCop. He was also inspired by Superman and Batman Begins with their origin stories. Aha!
Surprised.
In the comic books, Iron Man is actually injured during the Vietnam War, which was later changed to the Gulf War. But Favreau changed this to Afghanistan as he didn't want it to be a period piece. No, I'm sorry, no. Any changes is wrong, you know. DC can change the tiniest of details from the comic books and people are like, no, they changed the source material, this sucks. But when Marvel does it, it's okay because it's Marvel, it's fine.
You're absolutely right.
Originally, Favreau wanted to cast a complete newcomer as Iron Man, believing they didn't need an expensive star and they could just make them into a star. X-Men and Spider-Man had proven that this was possible. However, he did approach Sam Rockwell, who was interested, but the director suddenly changed his mind when he saw a screen test of Robert Downey Jr. Though Rockwell would go on to star in the sequel, so good for him.
A very astute observation, sir.
Oh, and Owen Wilson was also a consideration for the role of Iron Man. No, just no.
Damn.
Favreau not only chose Downey because he was a big fan of the comic books, but because his personal life had a lot of ups and downs and was very often put in the public eye. So he knew of Iron Man's struggles and could really relate to his character's life. But studio heads at Marvel weren't fans of the casting, but Favreau refused to put anyone else in the role. And despite it being a superhero film, he wanted it to be believable and completely realistic. And we saw how well that worked out for Christopher Nolan.
That's the least of your problems.
Filming began on March the 12th, 2007, but the script hadn't even been completed yet, leading to a lot of improvised dialogue. And this also upset the studio heads as the actors were basically running the show. Though Jeff Bridges, who plays the villain, admitted that he's normally prepared and knows all of his lines completely by heart. So he was thrown off not actually having a script. But he stated that it made it feel more like a student film, which made it a hell of a lot more fun.
Thank you.
They also did their best to keep the Nick Fury cameo after the credits a complete secret. It was even shot with a skeleton crew, but rumours leaked on the internet anyway, spoiling it because we just can't have nice things.
Oh my god, you crazy son of a...
Iron Man premiered on April the 14th, 2008 and was a huge hit, earning $585.3 million, making it the 11th biggest opening weekend in history at the time and the 13th biggest opening day. It had the second best premiere for a film that wasn't a sequel, only behind Spider-Man, and the 4th biggest opening for a superhero film. Critics were mixed, some loved it for its upbeat energy, while others didn't like it for nonsensical character actions. Shh! Pretty colours and explosions and action, ooh!
He's a complicated person.
It was nominated for many and won some awards, and it was a truly powerful kickstart to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But is it really as good as everybody says? Well, I have put this off for many years. And this is it, folks. This is the start of me reviewing the MCU. I'm giving in! You've got what you want. Subscribe and like the video. This is Iron Man. So the movie opens up with Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. in Afghanistan and not Vietnam because only Marvel are allowed to make changes, as he chills with some soldiers.
Is it cool if I take a picture with you?
Yes, it's very cool. I don't want to see this on your MySpace page.
Because this isn't beyond dated. But uh-oh, they're under attack. In an unprotected car. And the soldiers even leave Tony alone unarmed. Dude! He does manage to get out and hide behind a rock before somehow surviving a bomb blast because he's Robert Downey Jr., I don't know. Before we head to Las Vegas and rewind 36 hours to show that Tony is a rich, successful, arrogant douchebag who runs Stark Industries, which manufactures weapons for the military. He even no-shows an awards ceremony where he's successful so he can gamble instead. Dude, what a Yet he's still quite smooth and charming about it. No, what a
Okay, here's serious. My old man had a philosophy. Peace means having a bigger stick than the other guy.
That's a great line coming from the guy selling the sticks.
My father helped defeat the Nazis.
He also said that he saw some called Steve Rogers, but I have no idea who the hell that is. But then Tony ends up banging the random interviewer. Because he's Tony Stark and he can. But my god, look at his house! And it looks like a damn level in GoldenEye. But then we meet his assistant, Pepper, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. But Matt, Tony's a d***. He has one night stands, and then this poor woman has to do the deed of kicking them out in the morning. What an
After all these years, Tony still has you picking up the dry cleaning.
I do anything and everything that Mr. Stark requires.
Including blowjobs. Hey, how come that doesn't get censored? Blowjobs.
You are supposed to be halfway around the world right now.
How'd you take it?
Like a champ.
This dude is a prick! Can you hurry up and redeem yourself? Because I'm hating you right now! He even shows up to his private jet 3 hours later! Then he pressures his mate Rhodey, played by Terrence, to get drunk! Oh, well done, he's a good friend.
For your consideration, the Jericho.
Yeah, anything exploding behind Robert Downey Jr. will automatically be awesome. And that's when we return to present time, as Tony is injured and kidnapped by terrorists. But clearly we're stuck in Crank 2 because now he has an artificial heart.
Who's got my strawberry tart?
So this dude, Ho Yinsen, played by Sean Tuub, saved Tony's life. He made an electromagnet to prevent the shrapnel from entering his heart.
He says, "Welcome, Tony Stark, the most famous mass murderer in the history of America."
George Bush? So they're trying to convince him to make weapons for them, but he refuses, which leads to a little bit of torture.
He wants you to make the list of materials.
وبعد كده بالسلامة يا قلبي تروح على بيتك.
He says for you to start working immediately, and when you're done, he will set you free.
No, he won't.
No, he won't.
Alright, that is a really cool moment. The fact that, you know, the bad guy believes that Tony's fallen for his lies. Tony knows that he's going to backstab him, but he agrees, or seemingly agrees. That is a really, really cool moment. But wow, it is really handy that they managed to get this guy who just so happens to speak English. What would they have done if he wasn't there, or if he didn't save Tony's life? They'd be screwed! Plan over!
Careful. Careful, we only get one shot at this.
Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better.
So he pretends to be building weapons for them, but he's actually building himself an iron suit to escape. But this is damn near impossible! I'm sorry, but they are watching his every move. There is no way he would be able to get anywhere near finishing this thing without them realizing. He's a ninja, this one. And don't you tell me, oh, the camera doesn't cover every single corner of the room. Are you telling me they never walk in for an inspection? Later on they do, they just show up randomly. But nah, it's fine, just brush it under the rug. Brush that huge bulky suit under the rug. Yeah, I'm just doing your weapons here, yeah.
Don't remember.
They do start to suspect something and try to torture Yinsen, but he doesn't give anything away. God damn, this dude is loyal. But now they only have 24 hours to finish it. Despite it being clearly impossible, we do get an amazing montage as he starts to perfect the suit and get ready. It is so sick. Yeah, you become Iron Man, Tony. You can do it.
16 steps, that's from the door, fork right. 33 steps, turn right.
Feeling Stark.
Well, alright, so they didn't even notice him suiting up or anything. They're looking at the cameras. Oh, look, there's Tony. They look away for like 2 seconds to get a Pringle. Oh, where's he gone? Now hurry up and get the suit ready! This is intense as hell as the progress bar moves so slowly as the terrorists are rushing in. Come on, hurry up! Then Yinsen heads off and risks his life to buy Tony some time. Dude, this guy is amazing! Dude, this guy's dumb! But my god, Robo Tony looks incredible. But I am sorry, the suit would not be bulletproof. They were using cheap scrap metal in a cave in the middle of nowhere in Afghanistan. And yet he's created a indestructible, unbeatable, invincible, immortal suit. Can people just stop saying they're realistic now? It is impossible to make a realistic superhero movie. It just is. Christopher Nolan tried it, Marvel tried it, you can't do it. Oh, who cares? This looks amazing. The lead terrorist is also a great villain and so badass, but his rocket launcher doesn't go down too well. And despite not having a great deal of time with Jensen, it is really sad and emotional to see him die for Tony. Nice of the rest of the terrorists to stand around and let him have this emotional scene with his dying friend. What nice guys.
My turn.
Holy sh**! Okay, forget about this movie's flaws. This is amazing. It even flies. He built the most perfect suit in the world with hardly any materials.
How did we get into this mess? I really don't know how.
I can't help but feel it would just be hilarious if he immediately got kidnapped again after escaping. But no, rescue helicopters just so happen to show up to save him before he dies. But due to his life-altering experience, Tony is now having a change of heart. No pun intended.
I came to realize that I have more to offer this world than just making things that blow up. And that is why, effective immediately, I am shutting down the weapons manufacturer division.
And of course, now everyone hates Tony for not wanting war and murder anymore. Only in America! So Tony needs Pepper's help to replace his heart to keep him alive longer. She nearly even messes that up. Girl, you had one job! No! Don't put it on! You know what's gonna happen! But it is really funny how Tony starts to build and test out his new suit, but it goes wrong several times. But it is a cool backstory, how he wants to change his behaviour and make amends. It's a really solid transition.
I thought you said you were done making weapons.
It is. This is a flight stabilizer. It's completely harmless.
And that will never not be funny. So the suit is complete, but it isn't quite red yet. It looks like the Bicentennial Man. He just takes the suit for a nice flight without even testing it out. What if it just stops working halfway through, you dipsh**? Alright, the flight scene is quite a cool and charming sequence. Before he gets carried away, flies too high out of the Earth's atmosphere and gets iced up. See, I told you, you loony! He even gets warned about it several times and doesn't care. It's his own fault. Idiot. He does eventually kick back in again at the last minute. And possibly causes numerous car accidents and murders, but hey, it's Tony Stark, so it's fine. Okay, that is adorable. That is a really sweet and cute moment. But it kind of makes me hate Tony more. It's clear that Pepper has a thing for him. And she still had to watch him bang all these women, and then she had the duty of getting rid of them the next day. Screw this guy!
Hey, Tony. Remember me?
Sure don't.
And he's still a d***. It's slightly funny, but still a d***. And that's when we see the obligatory Stan Lee cameo, and he is literally playing Hugh Hefner. Accurate. But it seems Tony can finally sense Pepper's attraction and he convinces her to dance. It is really sweet though. It's like he's seeing her in a completely different light now. And they even go to kiss. But they don't. God damn it, you tease! And that's when we find out that Jeff Bridges is actually the double-crossing bad guy who planned for the terrorists to kill Tony earlier. Jon Favreau actually struggled to come up with a bad guy character for this film as he wanted them to still be realistic. We'll see.
It doesn't matter.
I do love how Tony is so rich, he's just able to wreck his own home to test out the equipment. Okay, how badass does this look? This looks incredible! Okay, that was funny. He even leaves one terrorist alone for the locals to finish off. That is pretty cool. And as all the cops and military are trying to figure out what the hell Iron Man is, Tony just casually answers the call to his friend in mid-flight. And his lies are so bad, they're hilarious.
What the hell is that noise?
Oh yeah, I'm driving the top down.
Someone stepped in and did your job for you.
Why do you sound out of breath, Tony?
I'm not. I was just jogging in the canyon.
I thought you were driving.
Right, I was driving to the canyon.
Not his strong point.
Please try not to move.
What's going on here?
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
You caught me rehearsing for Natural Born Killers.
These prison boys throwing the Constitution straight at the
But oh no, Pepper decides she can't take this anymore and wants to leave. Maybe it's because he's a self-centered, egotistical, sex-obsessed, selfish douchebag who banged a different woman every night and got her, a woman who's madly in love with him, to do the dirty work and get rid. And then when he finally has the chance to redeem himself and prove to her he actually cares, he vagina blocks her and leaves. Okay, no, it's because she doesn't want him to do anything dangerous and risk his life. I mean, at least this makes a lot more sense than when Lois or Mary Jane do it. They're worried that their superhuman boyfriend might die. But here, Tony's just a normal dude. He may have all the money in the world, but Pepper is the only one who's actually there for him. Well, except for Terrence Howard's character, but him, I guess. And he's all that she has too. It's a nice little arc. But she decides to stick around to help him hack into her flash drive.
आज हमारे शुमाली मशरक़ के बहादुर और नडर मुहाफ़िज़ों ने इस शैतानी रजीम टोनी स्टार्क को अपनी गिरफ्त में ले लिया है। तुम देख सकते हो कि वो ऐसा ही रहेगा।
You did not tell us that the target you paid us to kill was the great Tony Stark.
Wait. How advanced is this technology? She translates this dude, but it's the same guy's voice, just in English. Shouldn't it be like a robot? But what? The guy just did a recording specifically for Tony, like, yes, and this is my English. Okay, so... But oh no, Jeff Bridges shows up, but she does manage to escape without him realising what she's doing until the last minute. There is a whole lot of suspense, though, as he nearly figures it all out.
William, here is the technology. I've asked you to simply make it smaller.
Okay, sir, and that's what we're trying to do, but honestly, it's impossible.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave!
He's got a point. Thanks. But they decide to replicate Tony's suit for... revenge! Bridges then paralyzes him, even though he's still clearly moving his eyes. So, he's not paralyzed, this movie is lying to you. But I just love how slowly he does everything so someone can show up at the last minute to save the day. Oh. Alright then. But despite Bridges removing his heart, Tony still somehow manages to move to find a new one. Yeah, this is why you keep a spare, you stupid rich man. But dude, how is he moving? He's got no heart. He's having a cardiac arrest. This is the realistic one. Tony's superhuman. But Bridges uses the heart to power his own suit, but despite Tony taking forever to master control of his, Bridges is of course perfectly able to control his suit almost instantly. Oh things are getting real, let's go! But weirdly, Bridges hides for some reason, then wipes out the cops and chases Pepper away. Why the hell did he hide? Look at him! He even gets Pepper cornered and he still takes forever to kill her. Just kill her, you moron! Okay, that kid doesn't look the least bit convincing. Yeah, I'm scared. Yeah. Am I doing this right?
I love this suit! Put him down!
Do something?
For 30 years I've been holding you up!
Jesus Christ, how much can this suit really protect Tony from collateral damage? Jesus, he should have broken ribs at the very least! But he decides to risk going to maximum altitude, risking absolutely everything to kill this guy.
You had a great idea, Tony, but my suit is more advanced in every way. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
I will admit, this fight just seemed a bit pants. They have all this build-up, it's created like such a big deal, and then it's over so quickly. It's just really anticlimactic. It doesn't feel like it was a big... Oh! Okay, never mind then. How did he survive the ice?
Time to rid the world of weapons! friends! You gave it its best one ever!
Pepper!
And now, I'm gonna kill you with it!
Just do it then! But Tony again risks his life and asks Pepper to kill him despite him also being on the roof so we can give the Amazing Spider-Man 2 something to rip off later.
Just do it!
You die!
Well no, this movie has clearly shown that he can't die. See? How is this guy still breathing? So Tony and Pepper nearly get together. Again, before he holds a press conference.
The truth is, I am Iron Man.
Wait, what? Now this line was actually improvised by Robert Downey Jr., but it convinced the MCU to just not really bother with secret identities in their movies from now on. Now, don't get me wrong, I like this idea. I think it's a cool new take on superhero films. You can't keep doing the secret identity thing. But my problem is, the fans freak out when DC go a tiny bit against the source material. And then Marvel comes along with Iron Man and goes completely against the source material. And nobody gives a In the comics, Tony does have a secret identity. This was entirely made up for the movie. Now, in the source material, he does actually reveal who he is once. He has to force himself, but it's in order to save a young child's dog, and it's handled all emotionally. It's really powerful. It's this huge deal. But in the movie, Tony just reveals who he is randomly because he kind of feels like it. They've changed the location, they've changed Iron Man's entire character, and even the villain. The movie is based on Iron Man number 200, and Jeff Bridges is playing the villain Ironmonger.
Harold? Harold? Yeah, well, he's an ironmonger, isn't he? Harold the Ironmonger.
But Ironmonger kills himself with a ray blast to the head. Now don't get me wrong, I love this movie. This is a great film. But can we just stop pretending that Marvel follows the comic books, please? Then the movie has the standard post-credit sequence with Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, giving nerds everywhere a raging boner.
Who the hell are you? Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
Yeah, that'll do it. Pretty cool cliffhanger. And that was Iron Man. Yeah, okay, it is really good. I'm not too familiar with the character, but this was a great introduction. It's a transition piece of a douchebag turning good. It's certainly not realistic or believable, but it's definitely fun. The action is great, there's not too much comedy, Bridges is a great bad guy, and Downey is perfect for the lead. It's a fun little good versus evil story, and a damn good start to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Have you even seen them all? Me either.